not our last game, but our next game is going to be Flash versus Soulkey Game 3. This is a part of a 5-game series that they played on Monday, 8/14. And lots of stuff to talk about so far. If you haven't watched the first 2 games, check out the VODs, go back, watch them. First 2 games are absolutely insane. Some of the best TVZ you'll see in a long time. So, really cool stuff to see. In this game, they've played everything so far on Circuit Breaker, so I don't expect that we'll see anything different in this game. So far, they've both tried out a little bit different builds, particularly Flash. In the first game, he went for a weird Bio-Valkyrie mixture in the early game to try to get map control, but Soulkey just completely stomped it with good Needless Scourge control. In the second game, Flash went for a little bit more of a strange early double Rax poke before he got his medics. That didn't turn out all that well for him overall, and it allowed Soulkey to get up his third base, and they went into a very long slugfest in a long, about 30-minute game. So that was very epic, lots of fun. In this game, I'm curious to see if Flash will go back to his standard +1 5-Rax, or if he's going to continue experimenting with different builds. It definitely has felt a little bit more experimental for Flash overall in this series. It feels like he's not playing, quote-unquote, his style, compared to Soulkey, who is very comfortably and adeptly switching to what Flash has to offer, adjusting his playstyle to what he's up against, and doing it very well. So we are going to see what both players are going for in the early game. I don't think we'll see anything unusual. We almost always see a very standard opening in this matchup. ZVT, it's always 12 hatch and a pull into a 3rd hatch into lair, and Terran almost always goes for a gasless fast expand into either fast eBay for +1 5-Rax, a second early Rax for an early pre-meterless timing, or just going into a bit more of a standard traditional play. So we'll see what's coming up here pretty soon. In the meantime, not a whole lot to talk about, to be honest. Flash might try to go for the refinery steal. That was really nice. So it's gonna force Soulkey to go ahead and take his extractor down in the natural. Flash just being really annoying there. He's actually just gonna go ahead and finish this, or get this as close to completing as possible, and cancel it later. And in the meantime, just pretty standard stuff. One Joe coming off the line to prevent him from building it any further. It's not really that big of a deal. I've had a couple of arguments with people on this before about, is it worth it to actually gas steal as the Terran? And I honestly don't think it's that strong. If you go for a fast, if you go for a 12 hatch anyway, it really doesn't slow you down economically. It forces you to pull a couple of extra drones to your natural, but that's about all the economy damage that it does. It does force you to leave a couple lings home, so you can be a bit greedier with your marine production back at home, but other than that, I really don't think it plays that big of a role in the game. So both players just building up. We do see the early eBay, so it is going to be a +1 5-Rax from Flash. His go-to, his standard. This is the build that Flash made his mark with when he first came back to Brewbor. It's the one that he showcased a lot during ASL 2 and ASL 3. So it is very much his comfort build. It's what he feels very comfortable doing. His biocontrol is absolutely outstanding, so it's not at all surprising that he would prefer going to this type of build. Excuse me, there was a yawn. Alright, so Lair coming out, we're probably going to be seeing the Spire pretty soon. I actually didn't see Soulkey build the Spire. Where's the Spire? Am I crazy? Did he go... He didn't go Hydrogen first. Where's the Spire? Did he not build the Spire? Or am I just crazy? Oh, okay, he did build the Spire. I'm sorry. Sorry, we're good. And Flash is going to be going up to the 5 racks. The nice thing about the 5 racks is it hits quite a bit later. So as a Zerg player, you have a little bit of extra time. You can be a little bit greedier than you normally would. Unfortunately, it's hard to scout. As a Zerg player, you can't really... suiciding Overlords is not really an option in Brood War, like it is in StarCraft 2. So you really have to be very smart with your ability to count what the turn is doing, being very on top of your timings. If the turn hasn't moved out by 6 minutes or so, then you know that it's a little bit more of a passive build. It's probably something more like a 5 racks coming out. But the strength of the 5 racks is once you do get to move out, then your attack is much stronger. It's very, very powerful because all of your bio is not only super powered, but you can produce a lot of it to back it up. And even going for a counterattack is very difficult versus a 5 racks because the amount of units that's being pumped out of those 5 racks is actually pretty insane. So not really a problem at all for Flash to delay his attack. He doesn't mind too much. And since he knows where the Lings are out on the map, he's not going to be too coy about moving out across the map immediately. Mutalisks are out. They're going to be able to go ahead and meet these units out in the middle of the map. But I would like to go ahead and see the Sunkens go down. If you wait too long on those Sunkens, you could definitely die to a very strong stim attack. But Flash just being smart, because he can't quite go for this quite yet, so I'm going to play a little bit safer, not go too crazy. And is Soulkey ready to take a 3rd base, or is he going to take a later 3rd base? We saw the other day, I casted a couple of games of Effort where he went for much faster 3rd bases versus the 5 racks, and traditionally I've been told that going for a fast 3rd base versus 5 racks is a mistake. You really can't take it until you get your Lurker tech out. But the way that Effort was playing it was very smart. He was keeping his Mutalisks and his Lings very nicely in between the 2 armies. It basically allowed him a ton of control that he could very easily take a 3rd base behind it. Something that a lot of Zerg players I don't think do enough is overinvest in static defense and just keep all of their units out on the map. It's something that Savior kind of popularized way back in the day, but has grown significantly less standard over time, and I'm not sure why, because I think it's much stronger to go ahead and have your units out on the map, have them cut in between all of these forces, and force the turn player to really pay attention to their units and respond to the potential threats on the map. So we do see the starport coming out from Flash. Is Flash going to be going for the SK turnstile with the double starport? We'll have to see. He goes into the double starport. It's a very aggressive build, very difficult to deal with. It has a lot of different small variations that are very strong. Right now, Flash is he's very content with just sitting outside this natural and putting pressure out on the map. He doesn't really mind not going in for the kill right now, and small mistake there by Soulkey, losing a bunch of Mutalisks for free, but with these Lings coming in, he is going to be able to clean up this entire force of the Mutalisks, so very nicely played. Good stuff to see. And that's going to weaken Flash's army significantly because he wasn't able to actually join them up with the rest of this army. Unfortunately, I don't know if he has any lurkers down over there by his 3rd base, and he's not able to get them over there in time. He may find himself in a lot of trouble. His lurker is getting caught out of position. Is he going to be able to get there in time? I don't know if he's actually going to be able to get up the ramp and get in position. And even if he does, it's only 1 lurker, so it's not very powerful at this point in time. He's going to have to run all the way back, and basically Soulkey's going to have to reverse engineer this attack. Normally you would want to do a bit of a nicer thing where you trap the Marines up on the ramp versus the Lurkers, but in this case, not really going to be possible, so he's just going to have to trade with pure mutiling on top of the ramp. Not ideal, but he did kill off a decent chunk of it, and as long as he can keep this Lurker alive, he's going to be in decent shape. Unfortunately, losing another Mutalist, not good for him. Flash is going ahead and transitioning into the Vultures already, which is going to allow him to go ahead and start spreading mines over that third base, especially when the fourth base is already this well contested. It's going to be much easier for him to just get map control over there with the first couple of Vultures. So eventually this finally goes down, but a lot of Mutalists lost in the process, and this is what I'm talking about as far as how difficult it is to deal with this Fibrax. Even if you have all the units that you need in position, it's so much, it's so difficult to really get done what you need to get done. And everything over this base is going to go down. There's the GG from Soulkey, not able to hold the third base versus the pressure of that Fibrax.